Welcome to Seen and Noted podcast, where marketing insights, brand thinking, and cultural signals are unpacked for the people shaping brands every day. If it's shaping culture or shifting markets, we're paying attention. So let's get into it.
We are here to give you love data. Love is a beautiful thing. Friendship too. The kind that makes life feel fuller, softer, more interesting. But the beginning of all of that, messy, slightly chaotic, sometimes completely confusing. Because at some point, someone has to shoot their shot. We were curious, not about whether people are doing it. We already knew they were. We wanted to know how, when, where, and what people actually think about being approached in the first place. So we asked over 1,000 Nigerians questions about confidence, timing, location, online behavior, and the nerve it takes to make a move. No judgment, no agenda, just data. And the first thing the data told us is that Nigerians are not lacking confidence. In fact, 67.5% of respondents rated themselves between 8 and 10 out of 10. That's more than 2/3 of people saying, yes, I think I'm a catch. But confidence comes with expectations, because almost the exact same number, 69.6%, said they expect similarly high standards from the people approaching them. In other words, people aren't just asking, do you like me? They're asking, are you bringing the same energy you're expecting from me? Initiative matters, but intention matters too. The second thing we discovered is that being approached is becoming more common. Nearly 2/3 of respondents say they get approached with some regularity, and more than half, 51.6%, say they've noticed an increase in approaches over the past 3 years. People haven't lost interest in meeting people. If anything, they are becoming more open to it. But they're also becoming more selective about how it happens. And that's where timing enters the conversation. We spend so much time obsessing over what to say, the perfect opener, the perfect line, but the data suggests timing may matter more than wording. Half of respondents say they are flexible and can be approached anytime. But among those who have a preference, evenings clearly perform best at 22.8%, followed by midday at 16.4%. The lesson isn't that there's a magical hour to shoot your shot. It's that people respond better when they have the space to respond at all. Then we looked at where these interactions are happening. And honestly, this may be the most important finding in the entire study. Because context beats confidence every single time. The places people are most comfortable being approached are environments where interaction already feels natural. Casual hangouts top the list at 69.6%, art events follow closely at 68.4%, restaurants at 57.1%, sporting events at 52.2%, concerts at 49%. These are shared experiences, places where people already have something in common. The approach doesn't feel forced, it feels organic, it feels like an invitation rather than an interruption. Now compare that with the environments people dislike. Markets score just 7.5%. Public transit reaches only 16.7%. Nightclubs and bars sit at 16%. The message couldn't be clearer. People aren't necessarily rejecting the person, they're rejecting the context. Sometimes a failed approach isn't a courage problem, it's a geography problem. Of course, not every shot is being fired in person anymore. Digital spaces are now part of the equation too. But even online, context still matters. Instagram is the most acceptable platform, with 36.3% of respondents saying they're comfortable being approached there. Work chats follow surprisingly closely, but acceptance drops sharply elsewhere. Random WhatsApp messages sit at just 15%. The pattern remains consistent. People are open to connection when there's familiarity, relevance, or some form of social proof. Without that, an online approach can feel less like an introduction and more like an intrusion. Which brings us to the biggest takeaway from all of this. People still want connection deeply. The evidence is right there. Approaches are increasing, people remain open, but the modern social code has evolved. It's no longer just about being bold enough to make a move. It's about understanding timing, understanding space, understanding context, reading signals before delivering lines. Because the shot that lands isn't always the boldest one. It's usually the one that understands the environment, respects the moment, and reads the room before stepping into it. And if there's one thing over 1,000 Nigerians have told us, it's this. Connection hasn't become harder. It's simply become more intentional.
You can access the full report on our intelligence page. Just visit intelligence.extremeIdeas.com to get started.
If this episode gave you something to think about, share it with someone in your circle. See you on the next one.